Hartelijk welkom. Hij gaat zijn tweede Eurotour toernooi spelen van dit jaar. Gisteren door de qualifiers heen gekomen uit Hendrik Ido Ambacht, Wesley Plaisier. En dan de tegenstander van Wesley, een ervaren man. Hij gaat aan zijn 46e Eurotour toernooi beginnen. In 2011 maakte hij geschiedenis door als eerste speler een 39 te gooien met dubbel in, dubbel uit. In 2011 was hij ook runner-up op de World Grand Prix. Geef hem een hartelijk applaus uit Noord-Ierland, de history maker, Brandon Dolan! En we zijn ook van scheidsrechters gewisseld. De man op het podium die roept vaker dat de laatste leg gaat beginnen dan wie ook. Geef een hartelijk applaus, George Noble!
Welcome George Noble, one of the top referees in world darts, to the Dutch Darts Masters. I'm Dan Dawson. I've decided to join in as well. If George Noble's getting involved, then so am I. We are 2 games into the tournament. A win for Ireland's Willie O'Connor, Northern Ireland's Mickey Mansell, and fellow Northern Irishman Brendan Dolan looking to join them in the second round of the tournament. But to do that, he's going to have to beat Wesley Plaisier, a guy we saw on the Euro Tour earlier on this year in Leverkusen, made his debut there, and won his opening game before going out to James Wade. He was pretty impressive, actually, when he beat Jihan Artut in Leverkusen for a big stage debut on the European Tour. We will see if he can replicate that, but he's going to have to replicate it against a man who's been playing some pretty decent stuff of late, the history maker. He's been threatening to go on runs on the Pro Tour, recently made a last 16 in Barnsley. He's looked all right in the Euro Tour and regularly qualifying for them. That's the big thing for Brendan. Paul Nicholson alongside me to see who prevails between the history maker and Wesley Plaisier, who may have a nickname, but I don't know it. It's certainly not written on his shirt.
Yeah, I agree with you on Brendan Dolan at the minute. I think he's playing sneaky
First
well.
leg, Wesley to throw first. Game on.
Now, in the previous match, I described Mickey Mansell's performance as sneaky good. Well, I actually shared the cab yesterday with Brendan Dolan, and there was an air of confidence about him. He looked relaxed, he looked focused, and he was having a bit of a joke. I think Brendan is someone you're going to have to watch out for in the next couple of months. I think he may well go on a run somewhere.
Well, look, he looked good at the Players' Championship finals. He had that great run to the quarterfinals of the World Championship. This year, it's not as if he's been pulling up trees with his results, but there just have been performances here and there. He lost in the first round of a Pro Tour event the other day to Jamie Hughes with 105 average. So it's not as if a succession of first and second round exits, which he has had plenty of them this year, it's not as if he's been playing awfully and getting obliterated.
44.
There's been some good stuff there. And the Northern Irish team at the World Cup, for me, looks a pretty dangerous one, to be honest, with, I believe, world number 4 at the moment, Dal Gurney. He keeps flitting up and down between 3 and 5 in the world rankings, but I think he's number 4 as we stand.
Yeah, he can't really make his mind up.
But with him and Brendan Dolan, if Brendan can produce that game that we know he's got, and he's shown us a few times this year, that looks a good team.
140.
I think the Irish team as well, on top of the Northern Irish team, I think they are very, very good. Lennon and Willie O'Connor. I think the draw is enough to tantalise your taste buds, because I am counting the days down to that World Cup. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think I'll stick my neck out. I think we get a new winner. Admittedly,
34.
we've only had 2 teams win it in the past, but I genuinely think it's going to be a tournament where you'll see a surprise run from somebody, and maybe even a surprise finalist, and as I say, a new winner. It might be one of the big teams like the Welsh, or maybe even the Scottish, who knows? Nobody knows how well Gary Anderson's playing at the minute. Got no clue.
Time will tell.
It's Gary Anderson.
99. Was he 132?
Well, bullseye it will be for this big young Dutch dart thrower. And a 57 needed. There's a lot of movement in that shoulder.
60.
And
Brendan,
when he gets the timing right,
54.
he's very good. He's already had a couple of visits in this first leg which have been a little bit questionable.
14 segment. Double 11. Very nicely done. Brendan Dolan breaks the throw. 1-0 to the Northern Irishman.
Brendan to throw.
Winner of this faces Stephen Bunting,
Game on.
the number 13 seed here this weekend. A man who, similar to Dolan really, is without having many standout days or tournaments, he's been playing some decent stuff. He had that
60.
one great run to a final, of course, with a bizarre game in the semis against Darius Labanauskas. But there's been stuff around that from the bullet that has been pretty
58.
impressive without perhaps getting the rewards.
I was talking to Brendan yesterday about certain things to do with the grander scheme of darts, and we were
100.
pulling up our own trees about what we thought needed to happen to make the game bigger and things like that, and it's just a nice conversation. But we also talked about
39.
the pressure that people like Brendan Dolan are under, where they are in the world rankings, because they're looking to keep tour cards and keep their momentum going for, maintaining a living. And Brendan has said to me that if he was to slide down the rankings anymore, then questions will start to be asked. He knows that he's under pressure.
Well, the World Championship pretty much saved Brendan Dolan's tour card.
80.
He had a run to the quarterfinals. He picked up 50 grand. He picked up 8 grand at the Players Championship finals, and he was genuinely fearing that might be that. And as you say, if he did lose his tour card, Brendan's not sure whether he has the desire to come back and try and win it again.
Yeah, because Q School is not easy.
140.
Totally gets that.
And you're going 76.
I think that's Wesley's parents there. Brendan is looking for 16 and tops, and he may have to move for this. What do I know? Absolutely nothing. He knows what he can hit, and he's just hit it.
Game on.
Well, nice solid 15 darter on the throw. Plaisier not even down to a finish in that leg.
95.
Yeah, 5 home nation qualifiers from last night's event, and for me, Plaisier was the most impressive. 3 wins, averages of 91, 93, 87, very steady stuff, and only lost 1 leg in 3 matches. That is very impressive indeed.
Yeah,
90.
and that's one of the things as well, when you're winning games by 6-0, 6-1, then those poor legs that you do have, then they keep on going because you're going to win them, but it will be dragging your average down. Sometimes it's easier, if you're having a poor leg and the other guy goes out in 12 or 15, then your poor leg comes to an end rather quickly.
Well, the perfect example of that kind of situation is Mike De Decker, who we'll see in a few games' time. He was playing a guy called Malte Schleinitz in the Western South European qualifier last week, and he only averaged 72 to win in that match, did Mike De Decker. And the other guy didn't play well at all.
99.
But in all of the other games, Mike had much better averages, but he was dragged into a war of really bad darts in that match. It can have a big effect on you.
Yeah, and by the same token, you can go and average 100 and not have a chance in a game because all you're getting is scoring visits, and the other guy is just a visit ahead of you every single time. Seen plenty of that in the Premier League this year.
Saw plenty of that when Brendan Dolan was playing against MVG recently on the European Tour, where
58.
Brendan broke him 4 times
120.
and still lost 6-5.
Yeah, and that was another instance of Brendan Dolan looking dangerous. Plaisier can't find his way through to the 60.
60. Brendan, you require
Very sensible use of the 20 segment there, because he's banking on Brendan Dolan not hitting this 164, but hitting that single 20 Now he knows he's coming back for 20 and tops. He didn't want to start looking for that treble 20 when he didn't have to. Now, he is one tall boy. And you can see plenty of tops over that. That is lovely. Really good indeed. Well, I mentioned he only lost one leg last night. It may have something to do with how intimidating this boy is, because he is rather large.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to meet him down a dark alley at night.
100.
He's rather handy with the darts, and I get the feeling that if Plaisier goes to Q School next year to try and get himself some privileges, I think he'll stand a very good chance. I think coming onto the Euro Tour this year and getting that win at Leverkusen and having the experience of playing James Wade, I think will stand him in good stead.
Well, look, I mean, he went to the Euro Q School this year, and on the first day he made the last 32. And with the darts that we've seen him play in this, the other Euro Tour, in Leverkusen, the qualifiers, you know, if you can hover around that sort of 90 average, you're going to win some games at Q School. Whether that's going to be enough to, you know, at some point you're going to need a big display. If you're going to go on and either win a tour card outright or pick up enough points, you're going to need a few big displays.
100.
And you've got to get a little bit lucky with the draw, but he didn't really do anything else after that opening day. But it is, you know, a learning experience. I think most of Wesley's darts have been played at a local level.
100.
In fact, one of our team knows him from his part of the Netherlands.
Yeah, he knows a lot about
him, playing the same team, I think.
Yeah, knows a lot about Wesley and Danny van Tripe, who we will see this afternoon as well, because he also qualified for Leverkusen.
Hello. Ooh, Brendan, no need to go for that, but
I didn't think he was going to go for that, because that's not Brendan's style.
Wow. Brendan Dolan, the entertainer.
Should stop calling him the history maker and call him the excitement maker.
56. Brendan, you require 45.
Yeah, it'll be a 13. He loves double 16, does Brensky. And that is a guide and a half.
29.
Won't be happy with that dart at all. But he will be back. That is Danny van Tripe, just sitting at the back of that shot there.
Yeah, we'll see him this afternoon
96.
against Keegan Brown.
Brendan, you require 16.
One of just 2 people to beat Michael van Gerwen on the European Tour this year. Again, it looks a good guide. That looks another one. And it's used. There we go.
He's just teasing us.
To throw first. Game on.
Just a little word in my ear from Richard Ashdown, our spotter, who has quite rightly pointed out that
60.
that is Jurjen van der Velde, who is the, is it the JDC champion or is he the World Youth?
He is very good, I know that.
Yeah. I believe he's the JDC World Champion, as Rusty Jake Rodriguez was before him.
Yeah, I hope his career doesn't go the way of the other Van der Velde.
The golfer?
The golfer.
Well,
hope he doesn't end up in the creek.
31.
Yeah. Shoes off, trousers rolled up.
Lost the playoff.
Yeah, he was one of the names involved in the host nation qualifier last night.
140.
Co Stompy was there. Can you imagine if Co had made it through, the matchstick man?
Yeah, he lost to Mats Gies, who actually was beaten in the final game by Wesley
41.
Plaisier.
Well, that's the thing as well, because Plaisier, who we know has been playing a sort of solid level of stuff, we know he's got that in him. Co Stompy, an absolute legend of the game. But Matsky's played really well to beat Co and then just collapsed. And it may well have been, you know, Co's such an iconic figure in Dutch darts. Sometimes you think, well, maybe that was their final. They've just taken out perhaps the most high-profile name as Plaisier. Is that the 3rd time that's happened?
Yeah, 3rd time. He's had 2 drop out at the corner of the 60, and this time it was at the corner of the 57.
24.
I can't really understand why that's happened.
84.
This is something about the angle of entry, because he is very tall.
How about this?
64.
Can't take out 84 for the 2nd time in the match. Different route this time for Brendan, with Plaisier not on a finish. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, they are quite big and chunky
97.
darts, but that shouldn't really make a difference. They're long points, so the barrel's not an issue. And he looks to throw them. They're going in pretty uniformly.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just had some bad luck by hitting the corners of the wires. And that's a bad marker. Or is it? For Brendan Dolan, as I correct myself. Now, Brendan's darts do lie to the left.
Game on.
And he will have covered most of the bed there, but what a really good dart that was from the Northern Irishman.
Well, that's it. It's one of the things that you struggle to see on the angle. So even though Brendan's darts might be kicking over, as you can see with that last dart, kicking over to the left and covering a bit of the bed, there was enough below it where in actual fact it can somehow turn into a good marker, because all you're doing, it's like a crossbar. You're pinging it in off the crossbar and in below it, aren't you?
Yeah, I mentioned in the previous game with Rob Malarkey how Kyle Anderson is one of 3 players in the world who really use the angles of the darts to their advantage. Himself, Simon Whitlock, and after last night's game in the semi-final, Daryl Gurney, who had a double 12 where he used 2 darts as a backboard and just slammed it into double 12. It's one of the most impressive darts I've seen this year, especially under the pressure that he was under at that point.
Under a lot of pressure. Really good contest between MVG and Daryl Gurney. You will see MVG here this weekend looking to win this title for an incredible 6th time in a row.
140.
Brendan has hit 140 to leave 165 in a Steve Beaton-like manoeuvre.
Yeah, we do have another ex-champion of this event in the draw. That's Simon Whitlock. No Kim Huybrechts though. He was beaten in qualifying, so he's not here. This tournament has been held at numerous venues. Started at Newland, of course, back in 2012, where fought against Whitlock in the final and came up very short.
Plaisier is not going to take out the 127 in game, and Brendan Dolan's got a chance here. He's going to get 1 dart for the leg, you think? He could get 2.
86.
He'd love a shot at double 8.
Brendan, you require 70.
It will be a double 16. 1 dart only. And that's all he needs. That is really good from Dolan. Have you noticed, Dan, just how much quicker he's playing this year?
Hey, he's not a slouch, is he? He's one of those. We've seen it from another Northern Irishman, actually, in Gavin Carlin. When he's at the hockey, Gavin Carlin, I mean, he's not as quick as Gavin Carlin. Gavin Carlin at the hockey is quick. Brendan, a lot of the slowness of the game is it just the general Brendan Dolan sauntering around.
140.
Yeah, you know, I think he's probably quicker than he's been.
He gives it the old visit autopsy.
Yeah, he'll have a nice little think about what's just happened. And that first 9 average is very, very good from Brendan. And Wesley has not managed to hit the levels that we've seen from him in qualifying last night, or indeed when we saw him beat Jihan Artuk.
100.
And it means that tomorrow we will have Ireland's Willie O'Connor, Northern Ireland's Mickey Mansell, Northern Ireland's Brendan Dolan, and Northern Ireland's top player Daryl Gurney
58.
all in action.
Yeah, they've all done very well, so they have. Because it's looking very... There's the 1. That's a really good... Just get rid of it. That's what you call a good 1.
81.
It's almost a bad 1 with that 3rd dart. But he's maybe still in command here. Unless Plaisier can get himself out of that 5.
Well, the scoring just hasn't been there, has it? The first 9 average is 25 points between
74.
them. And that just highlights how Brendan Dolan has been comfortable in a lot of this game. And a 140 here would be perfect.
140.
Boy, is that really good.
36.
And he's forcing Plaisier to take this really good shot. And is he going to go for the 60? Because that one is precarious, to say the least.
Could go double-double.
I think that was the right shot, Dan. I really do, because
96.
he hits anything of that dart, it's out the
Brendan,
board.
you require 40.
Well, Brendan Dolan hits this, and Plaisier's out the tournament. Double 5. For the biggest margin of victory we've seen so far today. Willie O'Connor, Mickey Mansell, and now Brendan Dolan all through to round 2. The big Dutchman Wesley Plaisier knocked out of the Dutch Darts Masters, and Dolan will face the bullet Stephen Bunting. We'll grab a word with him, and then it's a Germany versus England clash as Ryan Harrington, son of the great man Rod, and I'm not just saying that because he's here this weekend, takes on Florian Hempel.
Goed, dames en heren, geef hem een hartelijk applaus. Weer wat ervaring opgedaan. Wesley Plaisier. Brendan, should we rename the Friday afternoon to Irish afternoon?
I think so. You know, 3 out of 3 is not bad. The other two playing so well put the pressure on me, but to be fair, you know, Wes didn't get, you know, he didn't play the way he can. I think he was a wee bit nervy on ease, and it's understandable. He doesn't get to play on stages, you know, every week. So I'm just thankful to get through.
You dipped in form a little bit over the last few years, but you seem to be climbing up again now. You're playing a little bit quicker as well. Is that you do that because you want to, or because it benefits your game?
I just needed a change, and I decided I'd speed up a little bit, but I still have to concentrate and make the first dart good, but then the other two is very quick. And I think that has improved my scoring performance. In the past, I've always been, you know, apart from the last couple of years, before that there I was very good at finishing, and that got me out of a lot of sticky spots. But now I think I've got the scoring power. I need to keep improving on it, keep working on it. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting there.
Next up, tomorrow, the bullet, Stephen Bunting. You haven't played him for 4 years.
Oh my God. It's either possibly not playing so well, I don't get to meet the top lads, and that's just the way it is. So it'll be nice to play Stevie. He's a lovely fella, but I suppose I'm there to do a job and he's there to do a job, so there'll be no friendship on the stage.
We'll see you again tomorrow. For now, the afternoon you can spend with your Irish friends. You're all through to the second round. Dames en heren, hartelijk applaus. The history maker, Brendan Dolan.